welcome back to Not Another Budget. I'm Nicole, and on this channel I am attempting to cash budget my way out of debt and try and resolve some of the financial mismanagement and bad money behaviours that I've gotten myself into. Now, thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed or commented and has been following along with Budgetmas. It does mean a lot to see that you guys are still engaged and that you're still fully prepared to help keep me accountable, because it is difficult sometimes. Especially if things happen or you're having a down week or things are overspendy or they don't go as planned. It's really difficult to keep on it. But I am trying to, and I'm planning ahead, and I am tired, which is why I sound a little bit lower than normal. I am just tired. And I'm also staring out at a very dark, foggy morning, which is just kind of lots of frost on spiders' webs and things like that. So there is actually a cat in this video. He may choose to make an appearance any further than the edge of his tail or not, we will see. But what I wanted to do was an ideal budget for my new wage and my new overall income. Now, this is not a March budget. These are just scrap pieces of paper, basically, budget printouts of my own design that just didn't run through the print properly. But before I kind of put this into my nice book, where there's no going back, I just wanted to run some numbers and see how it would work. And I did this a couple of months ago, I think, on this channel, and that video is floating around somewhere on a playlist, where it was, what does my ideal income need to be? Well, actually, now that I have significantly increased my income, what does an ideal budget look like for both a 5-week and a 4-month basis? So this is a theoretical exercise. Naturally, as we know with myself, I don't always remember all of my bills, so I think I have remembered everything. But as I'm going to be moving over to a budget by paycheck method, I also needed to look at what was being paid when and what was coming out when. And of course, we're going straight into January, into a 5-week month, which is fine, because I know that if I were to try and leave my wages untouched, because we're getting paid on the 23rd, we're getting paid early over Christmas. If I were to try and leave my wages untouched in there for a Christmas week, I can guarantee you there would not be money there. I'll just feel too rich and too spendy, and I'm completely at peace with admitting that. Now, today is coffee. I did want to show you my mug, actually, because I love this mug and it doesn't come out very often, but this is a specialish kind special blah. What do you guys come and watch me for? I can't speak. This is a special mug. This is by Rendell Designs, and I'm just trying to see if you can see. So that is a hamster eating a jammy dodger. I call him Hammy Dodger. Well, hey. But the title of the design is actually called The Diet Starts Tomorrow, and it definitely does, because I've been eating all of the Christmas food already. I'm meant to be filming a Christmas cupboard breakdown. And guys, there's not a lot of Christmas food left. Anyway, let's get back onto it. And I'll just have a quick sip of coffee. But yeah, this design is, can I do a thing? Yeah, it's not very good. That is a hamster eating a jammy dodger. And for my American viewers, if you haven't tried a jammy dodger, you need to get to a British expat biscuit shop as soon as you can, or find a British friend. I think I can make a case for them being one of the best biscuits. Let me know, British viewers, what your best biscuit is down in the comments below. Obviously, Americans, you can chime in, but if you haven't got jammy dodgers, I don't know how you can compete, honestly, guys. Right, 4 minutes into a rather rambly video. Let's get going. So, this is an ideal budget. Now, I have 2 sources of income that are both fixed. So I have 2 employers at the minute. For those of you who want to know kind of what's been happening, go check back some of my earlier videos, and you'll see how my income has been all over the place to hopefully going forward not all over the place. And I feel that's the best way to describe that. So my wage 1 is paid on the last working day of the month normally, and that is £2,000, and my wage 2, which is a Sunday job in retail, is £252, and that is normally paid around the 27th or whenever that falls on a working day. This is not including any freelance income. It's not including anything like Vinted or surveys or side hustling. This is just what I know is definitely coming into my budget, and that's what I definitely have to work with on a month-to-month basis. Anything else is extra and can be partitioned out accordingly. So my total standard monthly income is £2,252 as a set amount. Now, these bills are in no particular order whatsoever. It's just I did probably 2 or 3 drafts of this to try and remember everything, and then I just did a blanket copy across. So these are my fixed bills. They're direct debits, they're standing orders, they're bills that are definitely coming out that are the same price every single month. Now, One Call is £9.70 and Credit Spring is £10. Those are the only 2 of my debts currently that are set up on a minimum monthly payment amount. And I've got all of the dates and things. Where is my dates page? Oh yeah, I've got all of the dates and things here, so I'll go through and show you when they would normally come out. BT, which is my internet, is £31 and my mobile plan is £28. My pet insurance is £7.72. My car insurance is £81.44. My AA, which is my breakdown recovery, because I'm now doing an average of 60-ish miles a day to go to work, 5 days a week, along 2 major A roads and a hefty amount of country roads. So that is £9.50 a month, and that is well worth paying for. My pet plan, which covers things like his vaccinations and his prescriptions and things like that, and discount off visits, is £10 a month. My council tax at the minute is around £100. However, that's based on the fact that my income has been lower. I don't know what it's going to go up to, but we're going to call about £100, which is kind of in the middle. And if it goes up, then other categories will need to shrink, because that's one I'm not going to get into trouble with again. My water is £22, my energy is £130. That is significantly less than what they want me to pay, which I can't afford to pay, and it's more than what it covers, at least the arrears and something towards the new amount going forward. I have lower than typical usage, and to be honest, like, it's just getting these guys going, basically getting money to them, because you'll have seen for the past 3 months since I've started this channel, I've not made any payments to my energy company at all. My rent is £850. That is fixed for the next 18 months. The contract is up in June 2024, and I will make a decision about what I'm doing nearer the time. Obviously, you know, the housing market in the UK and the rental market in the UK is not great at the minute, and I at least have the security of a property where the rent isn't going to significantly skyrocket, and it suits my needs for now. 18 months is a long time away. My landlord may be completely sick of the market and want to sell by then. We don't know. My ink is £4.49 a month. That covers all of my printing cartridges, and I think it gets me 300 pieces of paper. 300 prints basically that I can print a month. YouTube, which is my standard monthly one, is £11.99. Now, one of my lovely viewers did actually leave a comment in one of my early videos, and I'm so sorry I can't remember your name, saying that basically you get YouTube Music within YouTube Premium, which is the package I pay for, and I wasn't aware of that. So although there is Spotify here for £9.99, if I can get basically like a full playlist transfer over and do a like-for-like copy, and I can use the interface fine, then Spotify will be going, and I'll just stick with YouTube. But I've put Spotify in there for now because it is one that I will be keeping if I can't get it going for me. But it brings my standard bills to £1,320 a month. Now, what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to quickly block that off for now, just so I can explain kind of this bit clearly. What I've done is I've opened up a new basic current account, which has no previous direct debit history attached to it, which both my current one and a previous dormant one has as well. So what I'm planning on doing is, as soon as I get paid on either the 30th or the 28th, whenever that day falls when the big wage goes in, I will be doing a full transfer over to that account. All of these direct debits I will be setting up on the new current account that I have, and that's all the money that's going to come out of there and go in. It is only to be used for bills, and it's keeping it completely separate, because I've got a lot of, like, I would say, payment admin to do on my existing current account, where it's just not very well structured and it's not very well organised. Everything comes out at different times based on when my income has come out. Some need to go on direct debits to get a cheaper rate. Some need to go on like standing orders, so that like the energy company don't try and take everything, for example, on one direct debit. So that is what I'm doing there, and we're going to see how that gets on going forward. It's going to take an awful lot of willpower from me to not touch that card, but that card is going to be not going out with me. It's not going to go like onto a Google Pay or anything like that. The cat has now left us, so there will be no more cat appearances in this video. But it's just something I think that needs to be done. Like I can't. It's been more stressful trying to pay my bills for the past 3 months than it has anything else. So let's just, the money is coming in one go, and that is the main thing. But that does then leave me a total of £932 for the rest of the month. Now, that is fine-ish until we get to a 5-week month. Now, what I've done here is I've done what I would anticipate spending each week. This at the bottom is what I would have left after a 4-week month, and this is how much it would cost me for a 5-week month with how much I would have left there. So food is 50, petrol is 60, cat is 15, coffee is 10, household is 5, spend is 25. So let's work back up. Spending is just my personal spending money for me to fritter away on whatever I want each week. Sometimes I am significantly under, sometimes I am horrendously over. So 25 we're going to trial and see. That leaves me on a 5-week month a total spend of £125, which small treats. Some people can go completely like hardcore and can just cut everything. I don't have the discipline to do that, and I need to feel like I have a certain amount of flexibility and room to spend frivolously in my budget, because but my brain can't do deprivation. I actually spend more. It needs to naturally happen. I need to naturally see that I'm only spending £20 over a significant period of time for me to then comfortably put that in my budget. It's basically like muscles that you've never used or have rarely used, and then basically, I'm not a runner. I don't do cross country at all, but it would be me basically trying to go and run like a half marathon when I can't run at all. So that's the methodology that's gone into this. I'm also trying to account in these numbers for price increases. I know we've got a fuel duty increase coming next year as well. I'm anticipating that £60 may not be enough for petrol at the time of filming. I've been doing 3 days so far commuting into work, and I'd set myself, I think, £55 on this week's budget, and it's already not enough. I have gone over. So I've put 60 in the hope that it's enough, because £300 a month is a lot to spend on fuel. It is what it is. Unfortunately, there's not really a great working from home facility in the role that I'm doing. Household is 5. I'm averaging £5 a week. Sometimes I can get everything I need to for the month in just 1 week, and then I don't need to allow a budget category for it. I would like to try and get in the habit of at least saving £5 a week towards that and letting that build up in just an envelope. And household is things like toiletries, cleaning products, a spare light bulb if it blows, a HDMI cable if something isn't working properly, just general little things around the house. It's nothing major like furniture or replacement electronics or anything like that. My coffee is my standing social engagement. It is going to be logistically harder for both the friend and I that have coffee each week, with both of us having changed our jobs, but we will try our best to do that. So for now it's sitting at 10. I don't want it to exceed 10. There's no reason for it to exceed 10. It only ever does if I go more than once a week, which there's now no time in my budget to do. Time in my schedule, let alone my budget. But that is £10 a week, and I feel like that is good for my mental health and my mental well-being. We go and we put the world to rights, and we have an extremely open relationship in terms of talking about money, talking about mental health, talking about stresses, talking about life. There's nothing that we don't chat about, and that is fantastic. I recommend everyone try to have a friend like that, because it helps hugely. The cat is 15. This is something that I have bumped up because he used to go to the toilet outside. It's too much information, but now that I'm obviously away from home most of the day, he's going to have to start having more cat litter. And I used to buy little and not very often, and now I'm going to have to buy a lot often. So I've bumped him up to 15. We're going to see where that lands. Petrol we've explained about, and then food is I am planning to lose weight this year. And incorporate things like protein shakes and stuff like that. That's how I'm choosing to do it. I know not everyone does, but weight loss and money management is personal, and that's how I'm choosing to do that. And healthy food was expensive before price increases, and I can't see it getting any better. So I'm going to try 50 a week. That is including things like protein shakes and powders and stuff as well. And I may choose to do one large order of that at the start of the month when I get paid, and then, you know, divide out the remainder of my budget between the weeks. We'll see. I'm not quite sure yet how that is going to work. But that means it's a standard weekly kind of spend, you know, living spends of £165 a month, £165 a week, sorry, which I feel is quite reasonable for a single household to cover everything like that. And that would normally leave me on a 4-week month £272 to pay with, to put towards other debt payoff, to put towards my savings goals, to put towards anything else really. However, on a 5-week month, which we're going straight into January for, it leaves me £122 left, which is significantly tighter, and it would that impacts on the savings goals that I want. Because what I would like to be doing is basically trying to incorporate paying off my guarantor to a significant amount. Now, when is this video being released? When is it being released? I filmed my debt video. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure that like people aren't watching out of order. So what I would like to try and do is start paying off my guarantor around £300 a month. Now that's a lot to try and incorporate. At the minute, there's not that there in my budget at all. So when I did first run these numbers, I was actually really disheartened, because it felt like, you know, I met the social contract. I have more to pay for, therefore I need to increase my wages. It's a social contract. You can have these things if you earn enough, basically. And I did that, and then it was like, oh, but it's still not enough. And if you've seen my very recent videos, you'll know that I've been agonising over staying at job 2. Because I've mentally checked out of retail a little bit. However, I think financially it's really, really clear that like that's not going to be the case. And I'm really glad that actually I'm filming this before I've done my overall kind of plan. At the minute I'm chunking it down so I can go a bit more in depth and try and make sense. I know Rainbow Budgets is doing the same, and I've really valued seeing that level of detail in her videos. So I hope that you guys are doing the same as well. Please go check out her channel if you haven't. But then I kind of had a day where I was like, between writing this down and then filming this, where I was like, oh God, again, it's still not enough. I do have freelance income. It's become more sporadic as to when I've been paid, but normally that's on a weekly basis. And I do have stock to sell from when I was working in film and television. I have supplies, I have costumes, so a lot of the times you would take a cut of your wage by keeping stock and things like that. And I've also got things that no longer serve me in my life that I'm trying to get rid of. So it is entirely possible for me to hit the 300, but it's not going to be doable on a 5-week month. So I don't think I'm going to immediately be able to start that repayment in January. It may have something that I have to look at in February's wage. But what I can try and see if I can do is see where I'm at in terms of savings halfway through January, and actually see if I am inadvertently a month ahead. If I can get kind of an additional if I can almost have preemptively saved the 300 for the debt payment going into February, maybe, that could change things. I'm not like, this is just very much me talking and working things out. So, but that would, if I can roll over £300 additionally, or take that out of an existing fund somewhere, that could help ease. And then I have that working month to work out what I'm doing. 5-week months are such a killer, and I think there's 4 this year, so that's a pain. So yeah, that may be something that we need to look at for February, not January, and trying not to run before I can walk. But I'd like to pay the guarantor back at least £300 a month. And if you see my debt breakdown video, you will have seen that. And also I want to start paying myself first is the wrong reason, because obviously I am obviously receiving a wage, but I would like to start putting money into savings straight away as part of a natural progression when I am doing my weekly and monthly budget, because that would help. I've already said, if my savings plan video, savings is a real struggle for me. So I think if I'm starting to incorporate little and often into my budget, it will help matters. But if I just want to quickly show you the monthly planner for the ideal budget. So anything that is blue is when I get paid. Anything pink is when my bill is coming out. So you can see that when I get wage 2, which is my mini wage, I'm going to be getting that paid first. That I'm going to I can't just put all of that into savings, for example. I'm going to have to get some money immediately over into the secondary bank account, and then probably work out the rest. And then when I get paid here, get the rest of the money in. So that's just something I need to be aware of. This is just a very rough what happens over a 5-week month, not necessarily January. I don't think January is starting on a Monday. My week is not starting on a Monday, for example. Actually, no, it is. No, it's not. Ignore me. Yeah, ignore me, because that would be fine, because we've got Christmas. Oh gosh, obviously. Right then. So in terms of what we've got going on, I need to, if I can, try and get £300 ahead for the guarantor and have that preemptively saved a month in advance. If I can, I definitely am going to need to push for freelance income. And then I think, looking at it, I did a very, very basic stock count last night, and I think I have about 6 months worth of the stock. Guys, I think I have about 6 months worth of stock at my current level, and I've been really inconsistently listing and really inconsistently sending out offers. I kind of go full tilt at it for 3 days and then just stop. But I need to find other places, I think, to list. I'm not a fan of eBay, and I have long given up on Etsy, having previously sold on there as a business. I am done with Etsy. So I do need to find alternative places to sell, and Facebook Marketplace is just, in this area, it is just full of time wasters. I appreciate that other people may not have that experience, but that is the experience of pretty much everyone I know in this area. So yeah. So this is where we are sitting on an ideal month. It's always it's the second time I've done it now. I found it a really useful theoretical exercise. So if anyone hasn't done it, and if I can offer advice to anyone, it would be to sit down and do an ideal budget. What do you want each week for each category? What are all of your bills? And in order for you to achieve that, how much does your earning need to be? I found it an eye-opener the first time I've done it. This second time initially made me a little bit low, but I am okay now. It was just more the shock of everything I want to do, and I think I just need to not run before I can walk, and just take it, I think, on a week, have my monthly overview, but as with all things, take it on a week by week basis. If I don't need to spend £40 that week for food, or £50 that week for food, or anything like that, it's that leaves that money. So I know that everything will be fine. I just wanted to see, before I got paid, what's a really basic plan. And the only thing I'm actually regretting doing is not including something like this in the budget binder that you saw in my Happy Mail. So when I do my designs going forward, for the next quarter, I'll be doing that in there as well. But what I am going to do now is love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed this ideal budget breakdown and that you're enjoying Budgetmas so far, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.